All right, let's talk about a huge shift that's happening in search right now. If your whole strategy is built around climbing to the top of Google search results, you really need to listen up. The game is changing, fast, and the old rules of SEO, well, they're starting to look a little outdated. Let's dive in.
To really get what's going on, just imagine this for a second. What if Google and ChatGPT had a kid? You wouldn't get a list of 10 blue links you have to click through, right? No, you'd get a straight-up, intelligent answer to your question, right then and there.
And that's not hypothetical anymore. That's exactly what platforms like Perplexity are doing. We call them answer engines. Instead of that familiar page of links, you get one clear, synthesized answer pulled from the best sources online. And the best part? It shows its work, with little footnotes telling you exactly where the info came from. It's a completely different way of thinking about search.
So this brings us to our first big point. We're officially moving away from the era where we do all the hard work of sifting through search results. The AI is doing that for us now, and that means the way we create our content has to change right along with it.
Okay, this table basically lays out the entire new playbook. You know, in the past, a title like Best Coffee Makers 2025 was perfect. But now, an AI is looking for something way more specific. A direct question like, which coffee maker is best for a small home office? And your content needs to follow that. You've got to shift from those generic lists to providing direct answers, backing them up with your own data, and formatting it all so an AI can read it easily. Think tables, bullet points, FAQs. The AI is your first reader now.
But here's the thing. It's not just about the tech. The people using the tech are changing too. Someone who opens an answer engine has a totally different mindset than your typical Google searcher.
Get this. The average time someone spends on a platform like Perplexity is somewhere between 11 and 23 minutes. Just think about that for a second. A typical Google search is over in a flash. This isn't just casual scrolling. This is deep, focused work.
And that gets to the why behind it all. These users are in research mode. They aren't just browsing. They have a specific problem they need to solve or a big decision they need to make, and they are actively looking for the answer. And that, right there, makes them incredibly valuable.
So, just how valuable are we talking? Well, one B2B software company found that the leads they got from these super specific AI-driven searches converted 5 times higher than their leads from generic Google keywords. 5 times! So the takeaway is crystal clear. This is about better traffic, not just more traffic.
So if the goal isn't just getting clicks anymore, what is it? What's the new grand prize? It's becoming a trusted source that the AI actually cites in its answer. It's all about becoming an authority.
I absolutely love this quote because it just nails the whole shift. A top ranking on Google, that gets you eyeballs, right? That's reach. But being the source an AI uses to form its answer, that's totally different. That's reputation. That's the AI telling the world you're the expert.
And getting cited creates this amazing flywheel effect. First, it builds trust with your audience. Then, it boosts your reach in a new way because journalists and bloggers are using these tools for research and they end up citing you. And all of that creates momentum. The more you're cited, the more the AI trusts you, and the more likely it is to cite you again. We've seen tiny niche blogs outrank massive media companies just because they published one killer piece of original data that got cited over and over.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do it? Let's get practical. Here's a clear 5-step plan to get your content optimized so you can become that citable source.
First, start structuring your content around the real questions people are asking. Turn your headlines into questions. Second, make it super easy to scan. Bullets, tables, short paragraphs. Make it simple for an AI to grab the facts. Third, and this is the secret sauce, use original data. Even a simple internal stat makes you a primary source nobody else has. Fourth, write like a human. Use the conversational language you see on places like Reddit or Quora. And finally, you have to actually be in those communities, because the answer engines are pulling from them all the time.
Now, when you start doing this, don't just expect a massive flood of new traffic overnight. That's not really the goal here. What you're going to see is a big shift in the kind of person who shows up. It's truly about quality over quantity.
This tale of 2 articles says it all. You've got the classic SEO article, Best Smartphones, getting 30,000 clicks a month, but most people leave right away. Then you have the AI-optimized article, Best Smartphone for Doctors. It only gets 900 clicks, but those clicks turn into a bunch of high-value business inquiries. I mean, which one would you rather have? It's a no-brainer. You're attracting people who are ready to make a decision.
Okay, I know this can feel like a really big change, but you don't have to overhaul everything all at once. Getting started is actually way easier than you might think. Let's talk about your very first move.
Here's a simple 3-step plan you can literally do today. First, just pick one of your existing articles that already does pretty well. Second, just revise it a bit. Turn the headlines into questions and maybe add a little FAQ section at the end. And third, add at least one little piece of original data, a stat, a quote from a customer, anything that makes it uniquely yours. And that's it. You're on your way.
Look, this isn't some far-off prediction. This is happening right now. These answer engines are fundamentally changing how all of us find information and make decisions. So the only real question left is, are you going to be just another link on a long list, or are you ready to be the answer?